Recorded. This meeting is being.
Okay. Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to the Red Wheelbarrow Poetry Collective online Zoom readings for the year. We are very happy and privileged to get to listen to Busisiwe Mahlangu this evening. Busisiwe is a poet, a copywriter, and self-addressed dreamer from Mamelodi, Pretoria. And Busisiwe, if you want to introduce the poems to us, you're more than welcome to do that. If you just want to read with no particular structure, please, it's all up to you. Usually our poet reads for about 40 minutes. We're not going to have questions or comments this evening as requested by Busisiwe, but we will have the open mic. So we will have a short break after her reading, and then we will open the mic, and anyone's welcome to read one or two poems. All right, Busisiwe, the floor is yours. Thank you.
Thank you, Lisa. Good evening, everyone. This is also my first reading of the year. I don't even know how to start. It has been a year. 2023 has been a year, and now we are in 2024, and I think the newness of 2024 has worn off, at least for me. It feels like it's been such a very long January. My reading today is dedicated in solidarity with the people of Palestine. And before I read any of my work, I would like to take a moment and read some of the poems by Palestinian writers. This first one that I will share is titled If I Must Die. It's written by Rafat Al-Arir, who was a Palestinian writer, poet, and professor and activist. This is one of the pieces that he shared on Twitter a few days just before he was killed. And yeah, I'm gonna read it in his honor and to hold space as well. If I must die, you must live, to tell my story, to sell my things, to buy a piece of cloth and some strings, make it white with a long tail, so that a child somewhere in Gaza, while looking heaven in the eye, awaiting his dead who left in a blaze and bid no one farewell, not even his flesh, not even to himself, sees the kite, my kite, you made flying above and thinks for a moment an angel is there, bringing back love. If I must die, let it bring hope, let it be a tale. This next piece that I will be sharing was written by Khalid Juma, also a Palestinian poet from Gaza. O rascal children of Gaza, you who constantly disturbed me with your screams under my window, you who filled every morning with rush and chaos, you who broke my vase and stole the lonely flower on my balcony, come back and scream as you want and break all the vases, steal all the flowers, just come back. Okay. This next poem that I will be sharing, it's written by me, and I don't know if words are enough, but I feel as a writer, I do have a a duty and a responsibility, especially in moments like this, where in moments of genocide where people are killed every day, where the numbers are rising. I think every bit of effort that anyone can master, or any action that anyone can bring to the fort is necessary and very much needed. And I think we shouldn't think that we don't have a voice, because if we don't, then who does? I feel it is very important to share this piece, even if it doesn't feel like it brings any resolution, or it stops the war, the genocide that is happening currently on Palestinian people. I still feel is very important to share. And sometimes as writers, if words fail us, there are so many Palestinian writers who've written about the 75 years of occupation, the genocide that they are facing. Every day on the internet, Palestinian people are documenting their own struggles and their own suffering. And if it's not to have that voice, then it's to make space and to highlight the voices that are there, and to give them that center, and to make sure that the story is always being told and it's not being erased along with the lives. So I want to share this piece that I've been writing, and I believe that it is not complete because the story is not complete, but I would like to share it today. It's titled For Gaza. Today, one side of the world sleeps while the other side rises. It is how it should be. Winter on this side, summer on the other side. It is how it should be. But somewhere a land is held together by screams. Somewhere faced with that blood skies, awake with dread, how time is broken and not enough. The gap between grief and survival, too small to squeeze a breath. The sky is metallic and it drops the dread. The explosion buries everything, for there is no time for funerals. The explosion turns buildings into graveyards. The ghost children play in between the gaps. Their mothers call out to them through the crack. They do not know they are dead. So they squeeze in another day, another game before dark. But time is broken in Gaza. Not 104 days or 75 years of slaughter can force the world awake. The explosions rain and bloodlines collapse. All the ghosts of the children still playing in the rubble, waiting to be called home for dinner, for falafel and curry, for laughter and sleep. But time is a million pieces. There's no telling where the shards will fall next. It shouldn't be this way. This next piece I'm gonna read is from my book, Surviving Loss. And it speaks to resistance. My anger is a log in a fire. Did not start the flame, but burned. Soon, there'll be no one to blame when I turn to ash. The inferno in my chest is a prison. A person who's hurt me before cannot do it again. I have them drink the fuel they poured on my feet. This anger did not start the flame, but that explosion is all of it, all of me. My anger bent my tears. My anger molded my chest a shield. My anger taught my breath to be gasoline. No one fought for me, but my anger did. fought for the woman in my blood and the children. They never touch the fire, but they feel the warmth. This is protection. This is a volcano erupting to save us. This next piece is titled Let History Sing Itself Tomorrow. I am afraid that time forgets itself. I sit at the ocean and try to count the years I've been without my father. I am writing him back into the records. My archive is swift dance with the wind, the only time machine I've built, and memory is the engine. How much am I forgetting? Not about my father, but my country. I've written out the cruelty, and now the poem is crumbling, following my father to the grave. This common man, this common country. Where are the everyday prayers calling us to be rescued? The ocean talks back, wants to hear the song stuck in my throat, but there's a million melodies in an unmade bed, unparted waters with no direction. Do I sing the protest first? Say I'm afraid a country cut into pieces wouldn't know how to be whole. Do we draw it a new map? Or do we accept its end, welcome the grief, and keep its memory? All my thoughts are passing through my hands. All my thoughts fall into the sea, and the water drowns them. I am gonna read new affirmations for the past. And one day the wind blows our way again. We do not ask it where it comes from and what it carries. We let it move the soil and bend the trees. We watch it become stronger. Here is a moment. Maybe we can tell the wind to go back. Maybe we prepare better for the current. Maybe I pull the clothes off the washing line and I close all the windows before the wind pulls the door from its hinges and all the children live and Mama has open arms to embrace us all. This is how you return to yourself. This is the sound. This is the blast. Take this silence no one hears. This is how you return to yourself. This is your reflection on the glass. These are parts that broke but are still here. This is the collapse and the rebuilding. This is a tasteless resurrection. This is how you make home with your body. This is how you fit into happiness. This is the gap for your escape. You being carried by wind. This is how you hold your lungs to the air, how you breathe through every wound. This is how you hold yourself. This is you here. This is you breathing. This is you healing. This is how your soul tells you you are doing well. And you are doing well. Near the end of a song, I am not ready to stop this dance with you. Tell me you will sing with your mouth. Tell me you will summon time to wait for us. Tell me good things that don't end, don't rot. Pour the song out of your body like a river. This one is titled Safe House. The old chair is pushed against the door. The windows are closed. The gate is locked. The fence has barbed wire to hook the flesh. A good night's sleep is bought with caution. Pull all the keys out of the doors. Do not switch off the lights. Turn over the welcome mats. Tell the dog to start barking. Since they can steal from my body too, I sat in the old chair behind the door. I built windows with bricks. I wrapped a chain and looked around the gate. I have a scar on my leg from the fence. Every breath is taken with caution. Swallow the keys after locking. Pretend to be awake. Bend all the welcome mats. Teach the dog how to bite. We spent our lives waiting for thieves to come, but they live in our home. This is titled Wash Me with Fire. I think you must be a body of fire to survive being bent. Avoid being wood or plastic or flesh or water. You must have feet that run on wind. You must disguise into a flame, and the fire will miss you. The month a man shrunk himself to embers, our shack burned to ash. Obaba saw how fire can end shame. He poured paraffin over the wood, tossed a lit match. I cannot imagine to have moaned. I cannot claim to have moaned. A house doesn't dance the same way a body does inside death. When we rebelled, we became cautious of sparks, placed the paraffin stove outside and used it there. Omama did not trust Ubaba to stay away from negotiating our exit. To be a body of fire, you should not let heat collapse you. She built our house with bricks and cement. Ubaba's anger could not gaslight any room. I actually have load shedding at 8, so I'm gonna light up my candles in case it happens during a poem and I'm not distracted. I hope I'll still be visible when that happens. Yeah, didn't realize 30 minutes is a long time. Okay, all right, I'd like to read something that's in my computer. The healer says, and if I'm still visible. Am I visible? Oh, okay. Okay. The healer says we can drink the herb, but it won't do its just unless we allow it. But the medicine bends the tongue, tears the muscles in the throat. Surrender, she says. But the medicine quickens the heart, dismembers the body. Every vein is on fire. Everything in its path is brought to a pause, then a sting, until the body cannot feel what the medicine is doing. Let go, she says. There are sores concealed by skin, but underneath, they are gaping. The medicine must close everything shut. If you stop moving in fear, the medicine can do its job. Okay, this next one is titled Process. You are collecting yourself from old things that are fading, age behind dust. You are looking for yourself in all the roads you built with your feet. Some paths were already there, some you shaped with your hands, and the thorns remained as a reminder. Some of your footprints are filled with mud. You cannot see them without breaking your back. You are tired. Tired feels like slowly wilting. Tired means rest your bones for now. In your rest, you begin to count all the things you lost to the mud. The spoon you used to eat gravy, your first kiss, the straps of your bra, your ninth finger, someone, everyone, yourself. You count loss until you are ash. You cry. Ash becomes wet. Ash never becomes paste. You fold into a ball and learn to survive alone. Someone pushed you, dragged you to this place. Your footprints are not on the ground. Your body is under your bed. You are learning sleep again. On the 30th day, you're still teaching your eyes how to close. Stay there, heal. Go outside, heal. Don't move, heal. Do what healing calls you to do. Sometimes it won't call you to do anything. Right now, I want to share a series of short poems. Some of them are as short as one line. And yeah, the first one. What is a sin? I want to tell Mama what they've done to me at church, but I fear hell, so I do not speak. What the man stole. He cracked my mother's spine, wrapped it in a 10 rand note, took her everywhere, left her behind each time. Escape. Next to her grandma, she's the daughter that swallowed raining and still lived. Next to a wall, she's a corner safe from any flood. Next to herself, she's a puzzle on the floor. Almost not there. I know they will live. This one is titled, You make your friends ghosts. They haunt you with the silence you taught them. This one is untitled. Paint your left foot red and your right green. A woman needs emergency signs to go running at 5 p.m. Fixing a boy makes me forget I am broken. My mother's mother has done the suffering for my mother. My mother has done the suffering for me. This is how I inherit a scar. This is titled Lost. There are few spaces where I can break down and heal. I am afraid they are collapsing too. Your wound is growing into a person. You can touch your pain and tell it to let you go. Do I still have another shuffle? Oh, let's see. This is titled Investigations. Did your father die or did he leave? Did your father call you by name or not call at all? Did your father become the wind? I believe this is the last one. Or second last. I found another one. Cuddling. Are we helping each other escape? What do you mean when you hold me? Did you see me become the wind? Did you see me become the floor? Is that the reason you fell over? You want to crumble into something calm. I can open. You can disappear inside a well or an empty ocean. But I am not your wound. I'm just void. The last one for the short poems. Look at yourself. You have not died yet. You're an unending revolution. You are surviving loss. Yeah. I'm gonna read something once I find something. Okay. This is titled Lost Shelf, and I believe this is my second last poem for the evening. So I'd like to take this opportunity to say thank you for having me once again. It's so exciting to be here for the second time and to be sharing some poems, and such a very warm and intimate space, and I can feel the energy even through a screen. And I hope one day I'll get to join you guys live in person and get to sit and listen to the poems in from the audience. But yeah, I'm so grateful for being here and for sharing poems and conversation. I know I didn't do much speaking, uh, but I hope the poems did the speaking for me. So this is titled Lost Shelves. The pages are missing inside my grandmother, torn and wet, memory washed away. There are stories she keeps on her fingertips, tucking them in under her nails each night. Her name falls off her tongue when she speaks. Another page snatched out of her book. Her back is a spine curling into a rainbow. The only reminder she has that the freedom promised came, although it forgot all the Black people. My grandmother forgot. She's a book without language. She's history cleaned off the floors. She holds an empty page. Her life is a blank on a sheet, is a pause, is a quiet between the wind. Her husband reminds her of their wedding day, playing the moment back with a song. She remembers the bells and the ginger beer, but not his name, not his face. She only knows his voice. It belongs to a man who once touched her bones and moved to their breaking. So we fill the space with the past. We condense 70 years inside a four-roomed house. We are holding grandmother's face close to her eyes. We watch her turn from paper to tree, and all that she lost is just leaves. And this is autumn. Have you ever seen an empty library breathe, moving the air around it to survive? Ever seen a book that can't be read, a line you cannot color into? Have you ever seen dementia in a body? Ever lived a life you cannot point at? Between the shelves in the library, I hold the books that know the place my grandmother sunk into. Every line I read is the language she lost, and the language lost is replaced with terms and symptoms that bend better in English. Alzheimer's is writing a new book with her body without her voice. She is holding the air like that. Like one day her body will disappear like her mind did. She's moving her hands like this, fishing out the confusion in the air. She's enveloping her words in steel, engraving herself somewhere. Grandmother, watching pages of her diary float off her body. Grandma, there is still a book that has your name clear on the cover. I am the book that will never forget you. I will never forget you. My closing piece is titled Set Me Free. I write to the wind to give these words freedom. Here, sister, take my tongue and run to the light. Be careful of the blood. I had to break my voice free, but my story will be carried by your feet. Where I end, you begin. Where you end, a small girl begins. Here, take my eyes with you. They carry terror in them. Do not be afraid. These are warning shots of the evil, a collection of sins performed against us. But I want you to know that beyond the torture, my dreams are burning the darkness. I wish you capture this light because it was made for your eyes. Here, grab my ears. They are a well of screams. They know all the waiting I've done to be heard. They're an ocean of songs sung in whispers. When you reach an open field, sing. Sing the song of your soul with all the breath inside you. I will listen for your freedom, and I will know that somewhere the future is kind to us. Thank you for listening. Yeah.
Order.
Yeah. Well, if we could all, if you can, please switch your mic on and let's give Busisiwe a round of applause.
Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you.
This meeting, Zoom, host attendee Zoom profile, what, Dolphin cut Zoom meeting.
Yeah. Pull the song out of your body like a river. Terima kasih. It was special. I know we're not going to do the questions and the answers, but in the comments. But if you do have a comment for Busi, please leave it in the chat, and if she's still around, she can go through them. I do want to just ask you where we could potentially find Surviving Loss. If you want to pop that in the chat, that would be great. And then everyone else, Busisiwe has a wonderful website. Please check it out, busisiwemahlangu.com, I think. Yeah, and then this wonderful collection of poems. And a podcast, yeah. Poets Hub essay. If you by the means do check it out, I'll pop it in the chat. But for now, I'm going to say thank you for your time, for your presence, for your craft, and we wish you well, and we hope to see you soon, and hopefully in the flesh. For everyone else, for those of you who are in Cape Town, there's we've kind of, we're in full swing, so we'll have a Zoom reading every week, and we have Caitlin Stobie at Spin Street here in Cape Town, and then Christine Coates and Jane Gibson also in January. So just pay attention to the socials and all of that. Busisiwe, terima kasih. I'm going to stop the recording now.